So he says, among them are ummiyun, لا يعلمون الكتاب إلا أماني. They don't know the book except for their own wishful thoughts. Umniya is the singular. The word amani means wishful thoughts. In other words, I don't know what this is, or actually instead of knowing what this is, you think you know what it is. So Allah is saying they don't know their book. They don't know the book at all, except they think they know what it is. Okay? Now this is the crime of Bani Israel against their book. This is a very serious ayah about them and their book. Allah says among them are uneducated people. They don't know the book. What makes them uneducated and unlettered? They don't know the book except wishful thoughts. In other words, they don't really know what it says. They think they know what it says. First, let's think about this. As far as our own selves, our own ummah is concerned. How many of us actually think we know what the Quran says, as opposed to actually knowing what it says? A long time ago, when I actually used to have the time to read an email forward, somebody sent me an email forward and it had like these really nice anecdotes, religious anecdotes, Islamic anecdotes. I'm sure you get hadith, forwards like of a hadith or an ayah once in a while, right? An email. So I get this email and it says, if you wake up for Fajr, then there will be light on your face for the entire day, and if you pray Dhuhr in the masjid, then there will be blessings in your sustenance, and if you pray Asr, this will happen, and Maghrib, this will happen, Isha, this will happen, Jum'ah, this will happen, and at the end of it all, at the bottom it says wisdom from the Holy Quran. I was like, that ain't in the Quran, I don't know. So somebody decides that might be a good idea to say at the bottom. That has nothing to do with Allah's book, So you don't know what it says, but you think you know what it says. And this is a serious crime as far as Allah is concerned. Now, Allah says, وَإِنْهُمْ إِلَّا يَظُنُّونَ. They do nothing but make assumptions. What this is teaching us is, this ummah better not make assumptions about Allah's book. You and I better not make assumptions about what makes Allah happy and what makes Allah angry. What He expects us to do, what He expects us not to do. What is crossing the line and what is okay. We better not make our own assumptions. Allah has already given the book. A lot of times even in casual Muslim conversations, Muslims can say things like, so where in the Quran does it say I can't do this? They'll say things like that. Where in the Quran does it say that? Well, first of all, you should be reading the Quran yourself. And this line of attitude, if in fact that is in the Quran, you're in pretty serious trouble. Watch your mouth. You're dealing with Allah's book. It's not some article or magazine that you're talking about. That's the first thing. The second thing here is the interpretation of the Sahaba when it comes to this ayah is very shocking and scary as far as I'm concerned. To me, it's one of the scariest tafasir of an ayah I've ever read. When Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu was explaining this ayah, the central crime that the Israelites have committed with their book is with the word amani. In other words, they don't know their book. Allah says, لا يعلمون الكتاب. They don't know the book except for their own or wishful thoughts, assumptions. He was explaining this word, assumptions, these wishful thoughts. What does it mean? He says, أماني أي تلاوة يعلمونه حفظا وقراءة بلا فهم لا يدرون ما فيها. He says, amani in this ayah means tilawah. I think even the Urdu speakers in the audience here know tilawat. What does tilawat mean? Recitation, following. Tilawah literally in Arabic means to follow along, meaning your eyes are following along the text, your fingers following along. This is tala, right? So to just recite it. Then he says, this amani means all they do is recite. يَعْلَمُونَهُ حِفْظًا وَقِرَاءَةً بِلَا فَهْمٍ. They know it only by memorizing it and by reciting it without understanding it. So if anything, they do have a relationship with their book. This is not Quran. Allah is talking, Ibn Abbas is explaining radiallahu anhu, the Jews with Tawrat. That's what he's explaining. But he's saying their relationship with their book is only three things. They recite it, they read it a little bit, and then they memorize some part of it. That's it. Bila fahm, without any understanding. La yadruna ma fiha. They have no clue what's inside it. They have no clue what's inside it, even though they recite it. Now it's a scary thing that this is the description of Bani Israel. That all they do with their book is recite it and memorize some part of it, and they have no idea what it says. Because if you travel around the well-educated Muslim community in the United States, we don't even have to cross the Atlantic and go across the ocean and blame other Muslims in other parts of the world. Let's talk about some of the most educated, well-off Muslims in the entire planet, the Muslim community in America. And you go around and you'll find people that have amazing educational credentials, from a bachelor's or a master's degree in like accounting or physics or this or that or the other. And sometimes we even know languages that aren't even human, like C++. right? We even know, and you can read those and tell where there's a syntax missing and a comma, and you can spot the problem, right? But yet when it comes to the language of Allah's book and understanding what Allah's book says, the vast majority of the Muslim community can be described as people who read the book, maybe even memorize some part of the book, but the vast majority of them have no idea what it says. You know? This is Allah describing Bani Israel. And look whose description fits. It's a scary thought. You know, لا يعلمون الكتاب إلا أماني وإنهم إلا يظنون. And they do nothing but make assumptions. They make assumptions that that's okay. They make assumptions, I don't have to know what this book says. They make assumptions, I already know, I got the gist of it. Akhirah, I got it. Yeah, he's a messenger, yeah, and it's a good book, yeah, I got it. You know, and I can't eat pork, got that too. So you're okay, you don't need to know anymore, right? SubhanAllah. Allah sent this book as a mercy and as guidance for humanity, and the people who got it have no time to read it. The people who actually believe that this is from Allah are the people who don't give it any time. What a crazy situation we live in.